Hello. So this will be my second project for Crafty Ribbons. When I saw these gorgeous laces in my kit, straight away I thought of my new Prima lavender papers that I've just received. Excuse me. As they just go so well with the colours and the vintage feel of them. I wanted to team this with some other ribbons. So this glitter one that I've used already goes very well. Then I've got some pinks, but they're a bit bright. So before I start, the first thing I'm going to do is just tone those down a little bit. And what I'm going to use to do that is something called gesso. I don't know if you've used this before. This is white gesso. So this is what people use to prime their canvases with. But it's also good if you want to change the colour of something, to lighten it, or to make a paint go further. So I'm just going to add a bit of that to my ribbons firstly, so that they can dry whilst we do the rest. So I've just got a craft mat here. I do apologise, it's very bright in here today. Okay, so I'm just going to, I don't want all of this, so let's cut a piece off. Get my scissors. So I want enough that I can do the length of a card. The card that I'm going to be using is A6. So let's just cut a piece of each. That's that, okay. So I'm just going to use my finger for this, as I'm not doing a massive amount of painting, and then I'll just clean my finger with a baby wipe. So this is white gesso, so I'm just going to just brush a bit of this along the ribbon. And by doing this, this also means that if we want to spray the ribbon with any inks, the inks will, rather than just soaking in and staining the ribbon, they'll sit on the surface nicely. And gesso does dry quite quick, so you could just put this to one side. Because you do have to be careful when using a heat gun with fabric, as it will burn and it will make the ribbon like bundle up. So we're nearly done here now. This one's not as bold, so I'm not as concerned with this one. So that's that. So we'll pop that there. Get the baby wipe. So we can pop that to one side to dry now, as I'll be using the ribbon a bit later on. Excuse me. Whenever I do a video, I seem to get a frog in my throat. Right, so let's pop our ribbons to one side. Now, I'm not your Grotalin. I'm not one for measurements. So I'm sure you all like to measure your cards and cut them with a cutter properly and all of that. But that's just not me, I'm afraid. So all I will do, I'll bring back my paper. and the card. So I'm going to use this one at the bottom layer. This is called My Love in a Bundle. It's the Prima Marketing Lavender collection. And then on the top I'm going to use the sheet called Through the Years. Now, where did I put that pencil? I didn't have a pencil. Here we go. So I'm just going to draw around the card. So I know that I want my paper to be cut roughly at this size. And the same on the other one. And then I'll just go in on the lines a little bit on the second one to leave a border, obviously, otherwise that one won't show. So let's cut this one out. Where did I draw my line? Oh, there it is. Drawing it in pencil, can't see. No, there. So I'm just cutting now where I've drawn my line. And I will need to trim this slightly. Let's bring back the card. So it's slightly too big. So I'm just trimming a little bit inside. I want to keep this nice foiled part. Okay, that's about right. But then what I like to do is take the edge of my scissors and I like to run along the edge and make indents in here. So I'm going to carry on and just rough this up, and then I'll come back and we'll stick that down. Okay, so I've roughed all around the edges. If you wanted to, you could ink around the edge here. I don't think I will do that with this one because it's quite a subtle paper. So that's now going to fit in there. Then we'll take our second paper and do the same idea. Obviously this time we want to cut it quite a bit smaller. So it's a bit hard to show on camera. So here's my outline from the card. I'm going to go in quite a bit smaller. And another good reason for roughing the edges, it doesn't matter then if your paper is straight because you're purposely distressing it. So if you're like me and you're not too keen on measuring, this is a good way to hide those uneven edges. So this is a really pretty paper with foil on. So this is going to sit on top of here. And we'll rough these edges up a bit as well. And if you do these where we've got these little cutouts, then it allows the bottom layer to pop out some more. So I'll carry on and do this, and then we'll start putting the card together. Okay, so this time I took some bigger cuts out of this as I want the other layer to show through nicely, and that fits just perfectly where that lovely foil is. So I'm just going to use some double-sided tape. If you prefer glue, that's absolutely fine, to lay these base pieces down on the card now. I'm not great with glue. I'm always a bit heavy-handed, so I tend to use tape most of the time, or a gel medium if I want anything a bit heavier. Now I do have a habit, I'm not a card maker as a natural. I do have a habit of putting my card upside down, so I'm going to make sure it's the right way up before I stick anything down. More of a mixed media person. I do a lot of scrapbook layouts and altered items, but I do like to try and push myself with other things. So cards is always a challenge for me, but that's good. Okay, and I've not stuck it right to the edge so that we can allow these nice shapes to stick up a little bit still that we've created there. So we can manipulate those a little bit more. You can just use your fingernail as well. You don't have to use your scissors. You don't want to blunt them. I mean, especially a lot of you are going to have lovely fabric scissors that I'm sure you don't want to do that with. You don't want to wreck your fabric scissors. I'm just doing the same on this part. Okay, so there's the lovely base of our card. Now we need to decide where everything's going to sit. So obviously I can't use all these ribbons. They're just ones I've pulled out that go. Whoops, knocking the camera over. So let's have a look. So I think probably some of the lace. I think this lighter one probably goes better. So I'd like to run that along the edge of this foiled part. So I'm going to use some gel for that. The reason I like gel, it dries clear. It's whereas a lot of glues have a white sort of finish to them. It's strong. So this one I'm using is an Americana heavy gel medium. This is handy, it's in a tube. So I'm just doing a little line along this foiled part where I want it to sit. And I'm just using a palette knife to spread this out. Okay, so I'm going to use this lighter, lace. And you do get a bit of time to manipulate this gel as well. So you can move it around if you're not happy with it. And then I like to just pop a little bit over the top. And this will dry clear. This one has a gloss to it, but you can get matte ones as well if you don't want that shiny finish. So let's just trim that. Need to get some decent scissors. Okay, so there's that part. So let's decide what else. Now I like this. Whoops. Really must remember the camera is there. I like this thin pink chevron. I think that's going to go there. So let's pop some more gel down. And I'll cut this first this time, that would be more sensible. So this is going to go next to that lilac piece. Don't worry about the gel, as I say, that will dry clear. And then we'll have maybe on the other side the hearts. So I don't want to cover up all that lovely foil on the card there. So we'll pop the heart over here, and not all the way up, I think, in the middle this time, so we don't cover all that foiling up. So I'll just cut a smaller piece of this one. And I'm just going to wipe some of the excess gel away. Doesn't matter too much, as I say, it does dry clear. Right, so I think that's my ribbons. I will link up the 3 ribbons that I've used there. So I've got a heart ribbon and a lace, and then keep calling it chevron, that's not the word for it. I'll put the correct descriptions in there. So let's look at embellishment. So we need some sort of word. Let's have a look. I'm just having a look through the embellishment. So this is the chipboard that comes with the range. What about this? You are beautiful always. Let's try that one, I think. So this could be a card you could give to a loved one, a friend, maybe a partner. I think it'd be nice for grandma. How does this come out? Just trying to get this out. Oops. Just dropped it on the floor. Let's go and rescue it. So I'll have to look into how we take those out properly. Because I don't think that I just did it the right way. So this is the one I'm going to use. So I'll just use my gel as I've got it out. Whoops, that was a bit too much. So I'm just spreading that on the back. And this can go up here. And we need something pretty. So I've got the small, these have got smaller flowers in that come with the collection. These are 12-piece one. Let's go for this lilac one. The others are a bit too big. And there's these really pretty gems that come with it. They've got like gold flecks and sparkles in. So let's stick the flower. Go up there. Oops. The crystals are adhesive. So what shall we have? I love these little gold ones. Really pretty. And they sit nicely with the ribbon there. So this has got a bit of drying left to do yet, so don't worry. We'll come back through the design a bit more than that. And maybe one more gem. Ever since I started watching Shamel, the scrapbooking lady, I've got a habit of doing things in threes. She's turned me into a 3 person. So 3 gems. And then maybe something in this area here. So let's have a think. Stickers. So there's a sticker set that is good for planners, if you like to do planners, because it's got all these little... I just saw one, where was it? Which one did I look? World Love. The best one, that's quite pretty. Look at that one. First day. Let's stick that on. And there's still something missing. Maybe one of our lovely buttons. A nice small little button. Yeah. This lovely little pink button, I think, will go nicely. Just adding that to the corner of the card here with a bit of the gel. And then I might finish. There's a lovely washi tape set for, and I'll just have a bit of, let's try this one on the other edge there. There. And then I want something to sit on top of those, I think. Something 3D. Do I go for another flower? I've got these beautiful crystal ones from the range. I'm not sure if they're too big. Let's have a look. Too big. A smaller one in between. No, I think that's too much, isn't it? Something smaller. I've got. Maybe another chipboard. Let's see. Oh, there's some pretty butterflies. What about these? Let's try that. This one came off better. Yes, that's it. And that's going to sit on top of the ribbon. They are adhesive, but I always like to just add something extra. Okay, and that's it done. So this is our sort of shabby chic card using 3 pieces from Crafty Ribbons here. The chevron, this little lace, and the heart ribbon. I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll be back with more projects. Bye!